This is Vietnam. Echoes from the ancient land. We are standing in the year 2026, and I want to take you to a reality that might astonish you. The nation once considered a symbol of this pain is quietly holding the soul of all of Southeast Asia. There is a truth that the world media rarely tells you, that behind the glitzy skyscrapers and dizzying growth rates, Vietnam is hiding a secret deep within the ancient land. A strength that does not come from the economy, but from invisible vibrations that, if you do not touch, you will never understand the reason why the world is flocking here. Welcome to the Vagatrip. I will be your companion on the upcoming journey. If you are also a soul longing to find truths outside of textbooks, please press the channel subscription button so you continue the journey of exploring these distant lands together. Have you ever wondered what made a nation endure 1,000 years of colonization, suffer through thousands of bombings and isolation, and then suddenly rise as an unstoppable entity in the future? Let's begin the journey in Hanoi, where I believe time decided to stop flowing to conduct an experiment on impermanence. Hanoi in the early morning of 2026 appears in my eyes not through numbers, but through a characteristic taste, the smell of moss blending into the moisture of the Red River. When going deep into the 36 streets, I feel as if I am walking on a living body. Each street named after a craft village, Hang Bak, Hang Gai, Hang Ma. They are not just places of trade, they are the veins that keep the heartbeat of this 1,000-year-old city never stopping. I sit down at a small street corner where a low plastic stool is all you need to possess an entire perspective on human life. In my hand is a cup of egg coffee, a proud invention of Hanoians. But the true mystery lies in the sounds echoing from the ancient communal houses. Have you ever heard the sound of the Ka Tru lute? That is music not for the crowd. It is a heritage in need of urgent preservation because each steely wooden beat and delicate singing lyric is the last fragile thread connecting us to our ancestors. Hanoi is not in a hurry. Hanoi chooses to live deep into the earth, where ancient echoes are still whispering about a mysterious Vietnam that you have only just begun to touch the first layer of. Do not take your eyes off the screen because the most magnificent things still lie ahead. The symphony of stone and water. As the deep echoes of the city fade into the mist of memory, I realize I am being led by a more powerful attraction from the northeast, where the whispers of earth and stone begin to speak. Leaving the embrace of mossy walls, I stand before HALONG BAY, not as a tourist gazing at a postcard, but as a pilgrim facing the greatest symphony of stone and water. Here, the legend of the descending dragon is no longer a fairy tale for children. It exists in every towering limestone karst, undulating amidst the emerald waters like the vertebrae of a sacred slumbering entity. I wonder how many millions of years have passed to create this daunting silence. From my perspective, each cave, each island is not just geography. They are the wrinkles of geological time, telling of an era before humans even appeared. But what truly leaves me silent is the life of the last fishermen. They do not own the sea, they are a part of it, living with a humility before nature that no conservation theory could fully describe. Leaving the tranquil waters of the bay, my journey heads straight toward the misty peaks of the Hoang Lien San Range, where Fansipan Peak reigns as a symbol of the aspiration to reach the sky. Sitting in the cable car, gliding through valleys of clouds, I see my own pitiful smallness before the majesty of the highland nature. When my hand touches the 3,143-meter landmark, amidst the freezing cold and fog obscuring the vision, a spiritual complex bearing the appearance of the Tran dynasty emerges like a mirage. Some say humans have intervened too deeply into this wilderness, but standing amidst the temple bells echoing in the clouds, I feel a strange reconciliation. It is where humans find a spiritual anchor to face the harshness of the mountains and forests. I see Hmong women in vibrant costumes walking quietly on the cliffs. They carry with them an entire intangible culture, crystallized over thousands of years. To them, the mountain is not for conquering, but for worshiping. The stories of dragons and fairies lie not only in history books, they lie in the breath of the mist, in the rhythmic sound of the lip lute, and in the way the highland people resiliently cling to the rocks. In this position, I understand that Vietnam is not only magnificent on the surface, its soul lies in the endless dialogue between the eternity of stone and the fragile yet persistent nature of human life. Join me as we walk on, for when the highland clouds disperse, we will find a central region waiting with unfinished fragments of time. Central Vietnam, fragments of time. As the highland clouds gradually recede behind me, I realize I am heading down the strip of central Vietnam, where the fragments of time are woven together with blood, sweat, and the most talented hands. My first stop is the ancient capital of Hue, where silence is not death, but a prideful solemnity. Standing before the rustic brick walls of the imperial city, I feel the breath of the Nguyen dynasty still lingering in every corner, from the mossy pavilions to the fading lotus stems in Tin Tam Lake Hue, teaches me about the standards and the depth of the Vietnamese soul. Every branch and blade of grass here seems to carry within it a somber secret of history, making the traveler unable to resist stopping to contemplate the rise and fall of an era. Moving away from the solemnity of the capital, I seek out Da Nang, where beaches like Mai Khe or Non Nuoc beckon with fine white sand and emerald waters. Standing before the vast ocean, I suddenly understand why Forbes honored this place as one of the most beautiful beaches on the planet. It is where one can cast away all worries to immerse themselves in the expansiveness of nature. But central Vietnam, in my eyes, is not just sea and temples. It is also the miracle of dreams above the clouds at Bana Hills. Standing on the Golden Bridge, amidst the giant mossy stone hands, I witness the surreal intersection between modern architecture and the soul of the mountains and forests. My journey continues to lead the way toward Hoi An, where time seems to have decided to stand still from centuries ago. I often wonder, what makes people patient enough to tailor an ao dai in a few hours or meticulously bend each bamboo lath to create vibrant lanterns? That is the soul of craftsmanship. When night falls, I sit quietly listening to the melodies of Bai Choi, echoing by the Hoi River. Those rustic songs are not just entertainment. They are the heartfelt voice of the central people, individuals resilient before storms, yet incredibly gentle in art. Here, amidst the shimmering light of flower lanterns, I realize that patience and the appreciation for the past are exactly what keep the soul of a land from dissolving. Join me as we continue the journey, for the South, with its silt-heavy rivers, is waiting for us with a completely different spirit. Saigon and the Mekong Delta, the flow of adaptation. Leaving behind the silent interludes and the meticulousness of central Vietnam, I let myself be swept away by the intense current heading south, where the rhythm of life beats faster under the harsh sun of a land that has never known how to stop. Ho Chi Minh City, or Saigon in my consciousness, is a strange entity where silence and bustle exist side by side. I stand amidst modern symbols like Landmark 81 or the Bitexco building, glowing with lights, but with just a turn into a small alley, I find myself before the gates of Thien Mu Pagoda, shrouded in incense smoke, or the 146-year-old ancient Notre Cathedral. Saigon truly lies in places like that, a metropolis that never rejects its past in exchange for modernity. I like the way this city operates. By day, it is a hustling construction site with endless traffic around Ben Thanh Market or the Independence Palace. But when night falls, as Nguyen Hue pedestrian street shines brightly, it turns into a giant stage of freedom and dynamism. But to truly understand the instinct of the Southern people, I must leave the concrete blocks behind to find my way back to the waters of the Mekong. This is a land of rivers, where people do not choose to conquer nature, but choose to immerse themselves in it. I sit on a small boat, weaving through the Kai Rong floating market from the crack of dawn, looking at the bio poles hanging with produce. A rustic yet brilliant style of advertising from our ancestors. The floating market is not just a place of trade, it is a living museum of human adaptation on the water. When silt builds up or the flood season arrives, the people of the West still live unperturbed, smiling nonchalantly on their boat roofs. And then, as evening falls, I fall silent, listening to the sound of the Dan Kim lute vibrating in the vast space of Don Kai Tai Tu. These melodies do not come from luxurious theaters. They come from farmers with muddy hands and feet, singing to tell of their inner feelings and the generosity of the motherland. Living in harmony with nature is not a slogan. Here, it is a philosophy of life, written with sweat and folk songs. Our journey now has only one final stop, where the ocean is waiting to tell us the final secrets of the Pearl Island. Quoc and a message from the ocean. As the flow of the Mekong gradually dissolves into the Gulf of Thailand, I realize I am also drifting toward the end of the journey, where distant islands begin to appear like precious gems hidden by nature amidst the vast ocean. Standing on the deck of the ship, heading toward the southern archipelago, I see not only a magnificent Quoc with 5-star resorts or world-class entertainment complexes, but also an ecosystem of opposing values existing side by side. Quoc is now a modern coastal city, but with just a step away from the luxury of the center, I find beaches like Sao Beach or Kiem Beach, where fine white sand still persistently embraces the jade-colored water. But my ambition for exploration does not stop at the Big Island. I seek out the HANOI archipelago, where small islands like Hon Tom, Hon Mong Te, or Hon Gam Gi still retain a heartbreakingly pristine beauty. Standing amidst the brilliantly colored coral reefs, I suddenly understand that Pearl Island is not just a beautiful name, but an affirmation of the richness of the sea's heart. The resilience of the Vietnamese people is once again clearly evident through the way they cling to the sea. People live off the ocean's bounty, to traditional fish sauce workshops, where time is sealed in large wooden vats to create the essence of a nation. Looking back at this entire S-shaped strip of land, I realize Vietnam is not a destination for us to consume, but a journey for us to be healed and to redefine the value of persistence. From the deep echoes of history in the heart of Hanoi, the breathtaking majesty of the northwest clouds, to the generous rhythm of life on the southern rivers, and the expansiveness of the ocean at the Pearl Island, everything is tightly connected by an invisible thread. The human soul Vietnam in 2026 is the most vivid testament to how a nation can move into a brilliant future while still embracing its past. Which place do you most long to set foot in right now? Leave the name of that destination and the reason you love it in the comments so we can share perspectives and inspire each other to explore.